telling you, man, this evening I'm gonna have fun with a seasoned guest, man. This man is a friend and is actually a role model, man. I mean, this guy has taught me insights into business and money making that if I'd followed it all, Papa can say me a billionaire. But anyway, I'm not too bad. Show some love, man. He's coming to you. I asked him one question one time. I said, Charlie, I hear you're a very rich man. He said, no, I'm not rich. I am wealthy. Show some love. And that's how he defines wealth. That if you were to stop earning your salary today, how long can you continue living on your income? That's wealthy. So wealthy, Charlie, anyway, he's here in the house, man. Put your hands together. Show some love for Mr. Edward Annan. Edward, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, KSM.
Wow, the last time I had you here, you had just, it was after your 60th birthday.
Yeah, that's 13 years ago.
That's
13 years
ago.
Half years ago. That's
wow. Right. So, I don't know the math. So, you are 74 now?
73 and half.
73 and half.
February 22nd, I was 73. We are talking of October. So, if you calculate, it's even more than 73 and half. But let's stick to 73 and half.
But wow, what do you eat and what don't you eat? Because you look very trim and energetic.
Listen.
For 73.
You come to the house to eat, so you know what I eat. What I don't eat, very few stuff.
Yeah.
I eat pork. It's not because I don't like pork. It's because when I eat pork, I get pains, joint pains.
That's really?
Yeah. But otherwise, I eat quite a lot of things. Yes.
So basically?
Basically, you know, I have 2 mugs of tea for breakfast.
2 mugs of tea?
Yes, for breakfast. You know my mug. Then I have lunch, good lunch, and I don't have dinner.
Oh.
That's it.
At all?
Yeah, otherwise I'll put on weight. My tummy will be sitting on my lap.
So you don't eat dinner at all?
No. If I'm going to have dinner...
Do you have a late lunch? Well, the lunches are...
Normally it's 1 o'clock. I have lunch at 1 o'clock. But sometimes I skip lunch and I have dinner. That's if I have a business lunch or business dinner instead of lunch. Then, but if it's in both lunch and dinner, that's not too good. I try to avoid that.
Wow. So your last meal basically after 1 when you've had, you don't eat anything there like in the evening?
If I'm really hungry, I might eat some fruits before I go to bed. But otherwise, no.
Oh, okay.
Just 1 or 2 glasses of water or another tea, but not main cooked meal.
But Mr.
Since when, Mister?
I just felt formal for a second.
Since
so Edward.
Yes, now you're talking.
Yes. You know, this guy, man, when we talk about, I don't know, the word is not rigid, but you are very...
Big.
Big?
I thought you said we're going to have fun.
We're having fun. You're having fun, man.
I don't trust anymore.
I want to find out, is it a German background? Because you are, you know, you have an approach to your work ethic, your time ethic. I'm sorry to say, it's not Ghanaian, you know. Ghana goes over 3:34. When we tell Edward 3, by 2:45, he's there. Is it part of German training or that's your upbringing?
It started with my mommy, with my mother. Most of the things that I have is from my mother. But Germany made it worse. You know, there's nothing like 3:34. It's either 3:30 or 4. So if you tell me to be here at 7, I'm here at 7. Yeah. Not 7:15 or 7:05. No, and you know also the time is money.
Time is money.
And I actually think also there's disrespect to the person you are going to see when he gives you a time at 7 and you go at 9. And what excuse are you going to give? What reason? There should be no reason. There should be no excuse. 7 is 7. Get there for 7. Simple and short.
I say amen to that, man. Well, so how your workers, have you, can I say, whipped them in line to know that time is of the, because you know in Ghana it's very difficult to keep that kind of time. Well, how are you with your...
Well, they know there's no Ghana time. There's only one time.
Okay, I like that.
So, and they go with it. To a great extent, they're on time. Yeah. Because I'm there before you get there anyway. So if you know that your boss is going to be there for 7 and you want to get there at 7:30 when you should be there at 7, then you have a problem. But basically, they're fine. They get there on time.
The next question I ask you, your energy level, man. I mean, one time I was sending him a text, right? And I said, oh, this is around about 2 a.m. So he will reply tomorrow because he said the wonder. But I wanted to send it because I remember that I had to send it. If I don't send it, I'll be in trouble. So I sent it at 2 a.m., waiting for the reply the following morning. He has replied,
you sleep? Listen, I thought we were going to have fun. We're not having fun. I sleep. But hey, you sleep when the body needs to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, in Germany, they will tell you if you can't sleep, it means the body doesn't need the sleep.
Oh, really?
The doctors are telling me something different.
The doctor says you should sleep anyway.
Yes, you should sleep how many hours? I don't know where they get that from, but you try. You know, but listen, Big, there was a time I was sleeping an hour a day.
Wow.
An hour. And I'm not joking, an hour. But there were times that, you know, I had to do that because you needed to work. And I didn't know the difference between day and night. For me, the work had to be done and I had to do it, whether it was 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. No, my daughter is smart. She will come on the line and see me on the line and say, Daddy, you're on the line, go to sleep. But meanwhile, she's on the line too.
She's on the line.
Like you send me a message at 2 o'clock and you expect me to respond. You said in the next morning, but 2 o'clock is morning.
Actually, this morning.
Yes, so I respond. So it means you are not sleeping either.
Well,
but I'm looking for a doctor or whoever it is who can bring one tablet that you take 1st of January every year, and you don't need to eat, you don't need to sleep throughout until the following year. Then we'll be talking.
One tablet.
Because when you are dead, there's nothing you do but sleep. So why should I sleep whilst I'm not dead yet? Exactly. So that's my policy. But when the body tells me I should sleep, well, then I may. But don't tell my doctor that, otherwise I'll be in trouble.
Well, she's listening now, trust me. Anyway, I was also surprised when I didn't know, because I know, and many people do know you for business, you know, entrepreneurship and the business. We'll be talking about that, but you have aeronautical engineering?
Yes, that's my
Really?
Yes. I studied aeronautical engineering in Germany, in Bremen. The only thing is that I didn't do much with that afterwards. Actually, I wanted to be a flight engineer, and I applied to Lufthansa after college, after university. And then they said, because I wasn't a German national, I couldn't work for Lufthansa.
Oh.
Then I just gave it up. I said, to hell with it.
Oh, wow.
Let me start something else.
So you were interested in...
Initially, yes. Although doing engineering was because it was easier for me to do engineering than, say, medicine or law. I wasn't too good in... I'm not too good in, as you call it in Ghana, chew and pour. It's got to make sense to me.
Okay.
And engineering makes sense.
Okay.
So I did that. But for me, it was more of insurance than where I'll be earning my money from. Right? It's more of insurance. If anything happens in the business world, okay, then I can go and fall on it and work as an engineer. But from day one, my aim was to be an entrepreneur. And after that, work for my people. That means running. So
even as you were studying aeronautical engineering, you had entrepreneurship in mind?
I had a boutique running, I had a discotheque running, and I had export and import business running when I was in school. You know.
Wow.
But as I said, I needed an insurance in case anything goes wrong. You have something you can hold on to. But the onset, my main was to become an entrepreneur. And after that, when you're successful, but if you're not successful, it means you're not an entrepreneur, because you can't be an entrepreneur and be unsuccessful.
Oh, really?
How can you be an entrepreneur and not be successful?
Maybe
the whole sense of being an entrepreneur is
that you're
money.
Successful?
It's money, to make money, not to lose money. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're losing money, you can't
then
call
you're
yourself.
not an entrepreneur.
You can't be. All right?
You made a lot of money, huh?
I don't know about that. I don't know about a lot, but yes, I've made some money. Wow. But I don't know about a lot. You've got to define the lot.
A lot?
Yeah, you've got to define it. What is a lot?
You know, a lot is like, you know, owning an airline. Passionately owning an airline. That's where you're going again. See where you're going again.
And you call that fun? Big. Stop that. own an airline. I run an airline.
You run an airline. Okay.
Okay. I own part of the shares, not all the shares.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And that's also another surprise, you know, because Passion Air just came in and was like everywhere. Passion. I was like, when did this airline come in? Passion, you know. And then one time you sent me something on WhatsApp, and something clicked up there. I'm like,
are you part of it?
Are you part of it? Coming from you, why would you send this? Why would Edward Annan send me something on some airline? You know, so I was like, are you a part of this thing? And I said, yes.
That's correct. I'm part of it. Yes.
How did the airlines come inside? Well, since we are flowing it has come up. I was going to ask that later.
Well, as an entrepreneur, you look for opportunities. You turn the opportunities into a product for the market, and then you realize the results of it. So I got to know of...
you look for an opportunity.
Yes.
You turn the opportunity into a product for the market.
Yes.
And then you
realize the results of it.
The results of it.
Call it the profit.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got to know of a company in Ghana that was going to tender for airline services. Yeah. Going from Accra to Takoradi 5 times a week, and sometimes few times more. But the conditions of the tender required a local content and somebody who was already in the industry. I could provide the local content, but I was in the industry. So I looked for a partner who was in the industry. We tendered and we won the tender. And we started operating. But you don't stop there. You know, it's too easy to just stop because you started operating charter flights. So I looked in the market and I realized that there's a gap in the domestic operation. You know, one time we had about 4 or 5 airlines running. Now that time we had only 1. Well, we had 2 before the second one also went bust. So we had 1. Now, for me, it's an opportunity, right? So you try to find out why is it that there's only 1. What happened to the rest? The rest, they went on. So you do a little bit of research and you realize that, well, they didn't do this right, or they did this wrong, or that. You correct it and you get it going. So that's what got me into the industry, the airline industry. Yes. Did
you ever see yourself? Oh, you're an entrepreneur, so it doesn't matter. Anything that opens you are in there.
You look for opportunity. It doesn't matter as long as it's legal and it brings you money. That's what you do. And you know, when you hear or you read or you get real information that there are 40,000 passengers in a month between Accra and Kumasi, it doesn't take rocket scientists to know that one airline cannot service that demand. Well, here we are. So we are here. But the market is still ready for a few more to come in. Yes, it's not just for two airline operators. No.
Yeah, you have a very, very varied, interesting background. You know, as an entrepreneur, I mean, you've done automobile, you've done computers, you've done buildings, real estate,
yeah,
everything, and also politics. For those of you who remember, I'm sorry, I couldn't have you here and not ask, I
know. Because you told me you're not going to ask some of the questions. Anyway, let's have fun.
Yeah. For those of you who remember, you did participate one time to contest for the presidential election.
That's correct.
And among the other things that people were saying, Professor Mills was a very good friend of yours. Is he going in there to compete with Mills? What is happening? What fueled that desire to foray into politics?
Earlier on, I said to you that my aim was to become an entrepreneur and then serve my people. Now, serving people could be in the position of being the president of the country. That's the highest you can go. Talking about my friend, at that time when I put in my bid, the information I had was that he wasn't going to do it. He wasn't going to do the third time. He wasn't going to do it anymore. So I started, and then of course he did. And but if you looked at what was going on, none of us went against each other, against the other. I never said one word bad about him. He never said one word bad about me. I just told the public what I had and what I could do to make their life better than they had, which I still believe in, So yes, friends, but friends compete. You go and play football, you're still friends, you're still competing. Yeah? Important thing is that you draw the line. You know, politics sometimes goes into dirty side, but I didn't do that. He never did that either.
So you, as part of servicing the nation, you wanted the top post. You wanted to be president?
Because I believed, and I still believe that I can do that. I can make Ghanaian, the ordinary person's life better than they have now. But whether I'll do it again or not, that's
that was going to be my next question.
Yes, don't ask that because I'm not ready for it yet. When I'm ready, I'll tell you. You'll be the first one I'll tell.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's still a passion that I've got. Or help whoever it is to make it happen, because there are many ways in making our life easier.
Of course, you are running for the NDC.
Yeah,
you say help whoever it is.
Yes.
If His Excellency Nado needed your help,
I'll still do it. It's for the nation. If he called me and asked me, Edward, how can I do this right, or how can I make this happen? I'll tell him. I won't hide it from him. I'll tell him, and I'll walk through with him. It won't be just saying it, but walking. Let's
say he has said it and he's listening now.
Listen, you know, I've always said I don't know why the country is so rich, but the people are not rich. They're poor. Most of us are poor. I mean, not talking about you and me, but talking about 27 million people. The equation doesn't sound right. You can't have such a rich country and the citizens are poor. There's something wrong. So let's unlock what is wrong.
In your assessment, what is wrong?
What is wrong is we are not looking at generating income from our own resource, our own wealth. We are not generating it. We go around looking at something else. Big. This country has a vast land, agricultural land. This country has a whole lot of businesses in the land. You have timber, you have gold, you have diamond, now we have oil, and we have gas. We have brilliant people. The citizens are very educated, very well educated. Now, if you put all this together, why should we be poor? So it takes the president to put these two people together, that is the resources and the human brains, regardless where they come from, regardless which party they come from, whether they are from this party or from that party. The important thing is they are Ghanaians, and they have the quality and they have the ability to make that happen. Put them together. Tell them what you want done. Tell them your vision. Give them time. Get your ministers, your people together with the entrepreneurs. Let them sit together. You chair, listen to all that they have, and make it happen. I mean, I don't want to talk about politics because I don't belong to the party that is in government today, and they will say that, yes, because you're not in government, you are saying that. It can work. Regardless which party it is, it can work. But as long as we go on this, if the winner takes it all, next year will be the same, next 2 years will be the same, next 10 years will be the same. Your children's children's children will come and have the same issue. So if you ask me what I should inform my president, I say, President, get all of us together on a round table. You chair the table, and let's
all of us being who, like
the business, the business committee. It doesn't matter what, as long as the person has shown success in any area that he is working, get them on the table. You cannot start with 50. You can start with 100. But another thing we need to look at as Ghanaian, now leaving the present government out of it, or whichever government out of it, is we need to look again at our constitution.
It's getting very interesting. Let me pause for the cause, and when we come back, we'll be looking into the constitution. Stick around, folks. Talk some love, and we'll be right back.
The KSM Show.
We're back, and tonight is gentleman. I have my good friend Mr. Edward Annan in the house. And before we took the commercial break, he was talking about one thing that we should change in Ghana is our constitution. So let's take it from there. So, Big, and I call him Big, but that's between us. I won't tell you yet. But Big, you think the constitution should be amended, changed?
You see, get into business. Just take a company. You have an accountant in the company. That accountant can be the auditor.
He
cannot
be the auditor. Okay.
How do you audit yourself? You do the books and you say, this is what I've done. Then you go and sit on the other side as an auditor and say, oh, I did it wrong. I should have done it this way. I'm not saying it's impossible, but that's not the norm. Nobody would check on it. He thinks that he's done it right, so you leave it at that. We have executive president, and the whole power, 100% power, is in the hands of the president. How do you check whether the president do something right or not? And don't talk about parliament. Yeah? He has the majority in parliament. So basically, you can do whatever you think is right today, tomorrow, the next day. I think there should be a check. There should be another body that would check the president. Parliament doesn't do it. If you've got the majority in parliament, you've got the presidency, the two of you are together. They talk of Council of State. Who select the Council of State?
So what amendment would you be looking for in the Constitution?
We've got to make sure that the president is checked by the people. By the people. There must be a way that the people can let the president know you are not doing what you said you're going to be doing, so we're not allowing you to stay. We can't do that. We've got to wait 4 years. 4 years is a long time to create a mess, and 4 years is a long time to do something good. Let's have a check. That's all.
But we don't have a check now?
No, we don't. The president can appoint you as a minister today and sack you the next day. In fact, not even the next day, the same day. He can appoint you as head of any government institution today, this morning at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, he can revoke it. You can go to court, but who goes to court? Not many people go to court and waste their time. Okay? So that should stop. Yeah. There must be a body organized by the country. All the parties come together and set up a system that will have a body that would bring the people who should run the institutions, regardless which president is there. Yeah, forget about the minister, that's his party. So he can, but the people, there are about how many government corporations in this country? And it's all, they are all appointed, the chief executive appointed by one person, the president. He can say he has his advisors, but it's still the presidency. It's completely different if you had an independent body doing that. An independent body checking this body has put in place. So the president has these people to work with. And if they're not doing well, the other body would...
But who will be responsible for picking the independent body?
All the parties. And all the parties, including the president can be part of it. But at the moment, it's only and only the president. I believe that it's too much, you know...
How would you have handled that? Well, you did
if I become president, you're asking? You've asked me that question before in private. Now you're asking me on stage. The first thing I will do is to let Ghanaians know we've got to amend that constitution. And the first one to amend is the presidency. The power that the president has got is too much. Somebody must check whatever I'm doing is right or not. If nobody is checking, I can think the line is straight, but it's not straight. The ministers are appointed by the president. Which minister is going to do something different from the president? I was told in Ghana when I got back from Germany, in Ghana, you don't resign out of principle. Yeah. If you retire in principle and go and work for a private company, the government can penalize that private company for the company not to be able to function well. Yeah. So if the president appoints ministers and the ministers are sitting down with him, they deliberate on whatever it is, and they don't think what the president wants to do is correct, they're not going to tell him it's not correct. They might say it, but if the president says, I'm still going to do it, well, what happens? You still do it. Because you want to keep your position as minister. You want to go to your village and show that, yes, I'm a minister. We should go away from that. You shouldn't care whether you are a minister or not. What you should care is, what can I do to make the life of Ghanaians better? That's the main thing everybody in the government should think of. Unfortunately, we don't do that.
Let me ask you a very crazy question. We get a call from the president, and he says, I was watching you.
He should be watching. Don't tell him.
I was watching you on KSM, and okay, I think you have some ideas. I want you to work for me. What would you want to do for me? Would you have an answer?
I can't work for him because I don't belong to his party. And you have a problem with his party even getting me to work for him. What I'll tell him is that, President, I can help you in this area to make money for the people. That I can do. Yeah? And I don't have problems with that. My party knows that I'll do that. Yeah? Because for me, the main thing is Ghana. The parties, yes, we have all areas where we think we are strong at, and we have our ideologies and all that. But end of the day, if it doesn't make the people's life better, what's good in having a party? So we'll do that. Yeah, but I won't belong to his party because I don't believe a lot of things that the party does. No, I don't have that.
But you offer any help that you can?
Offer help.
Okay.
Yeah? But to be honest, it's a theory because I don't see how he can do that with the system we've got now.
Yeah.
His party people will be at him. And end of the day, he's there for the party.
Yeah.
Before the nation. So it will be difficult. But if he asks me, oh yes, I'll do that. I actually said to one of his close associates how he can make Kolebu work and generate funds within Kolebu for its own self.
Speaking of Kolebu, they put in Kolebu once.
Yes. But you see, you need, as I said, everything is the present. You need a backing of the present, 100%, to be able to change some of the issues we have in the different institutions, not just Kolebu. A whole lot of institutions have the same issue. Yeah? If you don't have the back, you are not covered by the present, you waste your time.
Is that what happened to you?
That's what happened to me. End of the day, Kolebu has got, I call it mafia. If you don't break that mafia and make things go in the line that it should go, it won't happen. Nothing will change Kolebu. And government will put in money in Kolebu as much as they can put in, it will still not work. You see, Kolebu, as I was saying, Ghana is rich. Kolebu is rich. Kolebu has got vast land. Land is money, period. Kolebu hasn't got a car park. Kolebu hasn't got a recreation area for any of the mothers who come there. Kolebu hasn't got any hostel to host people when they come from villages, wherever, to be with their relations when they are in the hospital. Kolebu hasn't, you can turn Kolebu into a village on its own that has a whole lot of things. You can put car parking, story building for parking in Kolebu. You can put hotels in Kolebu. You can put recreation center in Kolebu. You can put a supermarket in Kolebu. A whole lot of things. Government doesn't need to fund them. All that the government needs to do is to use the land as their equity and invite business people to do that. So they take the risk. Now, Kolebu will be making money from those businesses that they wouldn't need Ministry of Health or central government to give them any money. But it's got to be done in a business sense, not in political sense.
So did you attempt this? And
I did. I even told my board that we could do all this. But the board will say yes. But who will give me the power to do it? It's got to be the government. The government owns the property. Yeah. We have houses on the land. Big. It's money thrown away. The doctors who the house were located to, they are not even living in there. They are in Europe. They are in America. 8 years, 10 years, they are not there. But other people are in there. What was the sense of the house? So you've got to define that. And there's a system of defining it and the system of checking. If you're living there, we must be able to communicate with you as long as you are living there. If you're not living there, we'll be able to know that you're not living there for whatever reason. So we give it to another person. Big. Don't...
Wow.
So there are too many issues that one can fix. But you can't fix if we have this executive presidency who can tomorrow say, hey, you guys, you are not doing well. Because we are doing well, but for him, we are not doing well because we are costing him votes. Yeah? If you start doing all this, people are going to be agitated, and before I aware, he's thinking of the votes for the next term. You've got to have somebody who can think of the votes for the next time. And for me, actually, I think even that is wrong thinking. Because if you do it right, the people will see it that you've done right, and they will vote for you. But it will take some time for it to get into the level that people will say, oh, after all, he did a good job. Yeah? When you start having money in your pocket, nobody will tell you vote for him.
What was the major problem you encountered in Kolebu since?
The mafia.
Oh, wow.
The mafia. You actually, look, Big. We got a tip that one of the storekeepers, every Tuesday, fill her boot, a car boot with drugs, medicine, to go and sell on her own.
Kolebu property.
Kolebu property. We were able to stop the car on a Tuesday afternoon. We got a tip and we were able to stop the car. And it was true. It had drugs in the boot. That time it was 2,400 cedi worth of drugs, but it's still drugs. We handed it over to the police. Let me make the story short. It was taken to court. Do you know when she pleaded guilty, what happened? A fine of 300 Ghana cedis. So she gets up and go and pay the 300 Ghana cedis. What kind of punishment is that? What kind of punishment is that? Was doing every week. And you know, when we got her the first time and we were talking to her, she says, and she did this, if she doesn't steal your drugs and sell and send the money to her child in China, the child can't go to school.
That was the explanation.
That was the explanation. She didn't deny that. My issue is that you can do it in such a way that it won't even happen. She won't even have access to stealing the goods. But it's free for all. You know. So there are a lot of things we can do to check all these things. But we're not doing it. It's all in the name of politics. So
show some love, man. so the master of politics is entrenched, man.
It's still there. And it will stay there. And you can change as many chief executives as you want. You can change the chairman of the board as often as you want. It won't change it if you don't tackle those.
And that's just one aspect.
Just one. There
are
so
other places.
Plenty. You know. So what I'm saying basically is that you need a system that can avoid all these things happening.
Block the loopholes,
exactly.
the wastage, the leakages.
Yeah. But unfortunately, the system we have now won't address it. 10 years from now, you get me on this stage, I'll be 83 years and 83 and a half years, and we'll say the same thing. Okay? This is not fun. Let's get on other areas that we have fun.
Show some love, man. I'm glad they came, Martin. I told you I haven't planned. Let's go and talk. But
yes, but let's have fun.
Let's have fun. Let's have fun.
This is touching other people's pocket. And they'll start saying, hey,
let's have fun.
Edward Annan is saying this, and the president gets to hear this and wants to stop that. Hey, we don't make money anymore.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't have problems in saying it. It's the truth.
No, I believe you. I believe you. So now let's have fun, man. So
now the fun is going to start.
The fun is going to start now, man. Right, put your hands for fun about to start. Your family, wife, kids, anything?
They're all fine. They're all fine. They're all behind me. I'm sure you're going on a passion air. Don't go there too much because Miss Anna is not too happy spending so much time working on the airline. She says that it's time we rested. It's time we took leave from work and we enjoyed the little life we've got.
Enjoy the wealth that you have created. And at 73 and a half, you have now gone to start passion there. Miss Anna, I understand you, man. But show some love, man.
As long as you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter whether it's passion there or
whatever it is.
You see the opportunity, you want to work on it. It's as simple as that.
And your daughter, from your speech, I see your daughter is playing a very strong role there for you.
She's my peer. She's my boss, actually.
Okay.
You know? Daddy, don't do this. Daddy, you should do this. Daddy, go to bed. Daddy, you are too tired. Daddy, you shouldn't. That's all you hear. And hey, you love her, so you know. But she's doing a good job. She doesn't sleep herself.
She doesn't.
No, don't mind her.
Like father, like daughter.
Well, I don't know about that, but she doesn't sleep herself. And then she will tell you, I saw you online yesterday this time, or she sees you and comes to you, you're online, so go to bed. If I'm online, I should go to bed. What are you doing online? You know? But it is
so where did you get the name? Passion Air, with a passion. Where's the passion from? You're passionate about everything you do?
Exactly. You've got to be passionate about everything you do. Short of that, if you don't have passion to do anything, wait until you have the passion before you start.
Otherwise, don't even start.
Exactly. It doesn't work.
Very good point. Very good point.
That's what you're doing. You have passion in the work you do. By the way, when are you going to start the show again?
Which show?
Your stage shows, because that's how we got to know of KSM. Now KSM has stopped all that and is doing production.
Well, there's a big stage show coming, now that you ask.
Yes.
December 7th.
Damn! Yeah. Where?
To be at the National Theatre.
Okay.
You know, I turned 62 on December 5th.
Yeah, I know.
And December 7th, yeah, December 7th happened to be a holiday. So I just said, I'm going to, my stage comeback after 2
Dynamite.
Years. Dynamite, man.
Okay. Good.
So I know you probably come and buy the whole front row or 2 rows.
You got that right. I'll send all my stuff.
Like other people, when you tell them you have a play, oh, KSM, you been your comp. No, I'm not saying because it's here or not him. If you go and dash him, take it, you throw it at you. He said, if you dash it to me, how will you make money?
Exactly.
No at all. So Ghanaians, take a
it costs you money to produce that.
Yes.
Same.
You know. Yeah, so December 7th,
I'll be there. Don't worry. I'll make sure
there.
I'm in Ghana and I'll come with my entourage.
Yeah.
I'll get the whole staff.
Hey, what do you need to relax, man? You know, they say your work, everything is defined by work. Do you do anything that's non-work?
Relaxation is part of the work.
Oh, really?
I'm sitting here talking to you. That's relaxation. I'm not relaxed. I'm relaxed. I get to the office, I talk to my staff. I'm relaxed. I'm eating, spending half an hour eating. I'm relaxed. So what else do you want me to do to relax?
Do you like movies, music?
I like music. I like movies, but first I don't go out of my house to watch any movie or listen to any music. I do it in my house.
Yeah.
I can't say I do it that often because I don't have the time for it. But I love it. I love music. I love movies. Yeah. But I like the detective movies more.
Oh, really?
Because then you know, it's nice to follow a trend of how the person solved the problem. You know, that's more interesting. Sometimes it's a little nasty. Somebody's dead, you know, and they are trying to find out how he got dead. He was killed. The fact that he's dead is not nice, but to follow up how they got to grab the person who committed the murder is interesting.
Who's your favorite detective?
Oh, he's off the scene now. That was Colombo. Ah! That was Colombo.
Colombo!
Then
yeah. Colombo is it, man. There's yeah.
It makes sense. They show you the act and then but you see, that is nice because it's fiction, so it's nice. But if you watch FBI Files, you know, that's a little...
That's true stories.
It's a little demoralizing, but it's still good because, as I said, you follow the thinking, and that helps even in business. You know, you've got to think through and see where the risks are, so you can, you know, eliminate the risks. You can't eliminate all of them, but at least to some extent you should be able to do that. So it's good. It gives you something to think about.
When you're setting up, now that you come back to business, you know, I was going to relax with you, but you're taking me back to
go back to the relaxation.
Let me try to relax, but you're taking me back to business. And you're talking about risk.
Yes.
There are lots of young ones who are watching you right now, you know, and you have so much to offer. Have you ever considered like teaching?
I've given a lot of talks in universities and polytechnics, you know. I don't have a problem. If the students come up and say they want me to come and talk to them, I'll do that.
Okay.
The more people you get into business, the more you get the load from the government into the private sector. When the private sector flourishes, the government makes more money because it's not only the company that is paying tax, also the employees are paying tax, you know. So we need to do a lot more of that, and we don't teach that in the schools. Yeah, we don't teach that. We don't teach the subject of money in school, and so some of us who have that from whatever, however they got them, should be able to help the students, young people, to do that. So I don't have problems at all. If they come to me, I'll do that. Okay,
folks, you have my contact, man. If you need him to come to your institution, or you know, you young ones, you know, please pass it through me. I charge a small commission.
I'm not charging to give the lecture.
You're not charging to give the lecture. I just charge a commission so that he doesn't charge me. No, seriously, you know, he does it and he does so well.
I've done it quite often, but you know. So,
what few tips would you give to the young ones watching you now? And I want to start this and I want to do this. What can you throw out there in the last few minutes that we have?
The few times I've spoken to the youth, you know, I think they start on the wrong foot. They start looking for offices. They start furnishing the offices. They start buying cars to ride in. You know, they start buying clothes and all that. They are all irrelevant from day one. They become relevant afterwards. Make the money first before you spend it. What you've got is your brain. You've got a line of business that you think you can make it happen. Start working on that. Get the product together and make it happen before you start thinking of going to have an office. I had one person in my office one time who's got $50,000 to start a business. The $50,000 was finished by the time she finished talking. It was a she. She's looking for an office. She's looking for a car. She's looking for a secretary. She's looking for a salesperson who she can send around. I asked her, are you the one who wants to do the job, or you want the salesperson to do the job for you? If the salesperson can do it the way you thinking of it, can do it, the person doesn't need you. He will do it himself. So, and what do you need the office for? And what she's looking at doing is more going to clients, going to customers, not customers coming to her. Yeah. So I said, why do you want an office? Use your living room as your office. I used my study as office when I started work. My secretary, my accountant, and myself, the three of us shared one room for a long time before we started getting offices to go to. As long as your business is you going to the client, you don't need an office. You need your brain and how to get to the client. You know. She said thank you, but I'm sure she wouldn't listen to me. Because
what about those who really have 50,000 to begin with? They have zilch. What advice?
I didn't have 50,000 when I started business. I had zilch. What you are saying, yeah. First and foremost is the brain. You need to be able to identify an opportunity. And as I said, you need to put that opportunity into reality. Now, it's resources you need. And Ghanaians, when you talk of resources, they think it's money. When I'm talking to you, probably I'll be tapping your brain in that line without you even knowing. That's for free. Yeah? So you get as many people as possible to talk to get information to help you structure whatever you thought you want to do in life. Before you even think of one peswa, one cedi to spend in that. But no, I want to get into real estate. Yeah? Okay, so what is real estate? There are many areas in real estate. Oh, but I want to build offices and rent out. You don't just get up and say, I want to build offices. Do you have the land? Do you have the architect to design this thing for you? All these cost money. So how do you do that before you start spending money? Big. This is not classroom. Let's get into classroom. But basically, the idea that you have is more important, and how you get it to get on the market is the next step.
Okay.
Not spending money.
Okay. Like I said, if you all want some more tutorials, you get in touch with me, and I'll talk to him for you at no charge.
I hope the youth that are listening to, they will take a cue from it.
I'm sure. Well, Big.
All right.
Unfortunately, time has caught up with us. I wanted to talk to you about plenty things, man. Oh, quickly before you leave, your parents, you're very close with your mom.
I was when she was alive. She's dead, unfortunately. Yes. I learned a lot from her, though. You know, from her. One thing that I wish she was alive for me to be whipping her, and sometimes I want to go to her grave and whip her.
Why?
If you have a penny, your last penny, and somebody needs it, give it to that person.
That's what she said.
Probably in her world, it was okay. This world, big. People will give the impression they need something, but it's taking advantage of you because they don't need it, they want it. And they know if they come with the need, you give to them. So some of the things I've got to, I got it from my mother, and I've got to go and whip her. So next I'm going to Winnipeg to go and whip her, I'll go with you.
We'll follow with the crew. Show some love, man! Edward Annan! Oh, it's always a pleasure to have you, and congrats for the new the Passion Airlines, and everything that you're doing. And I'm very, very, very happy to say that at the young age of 73 and a half, you're still going into new ventures, And so kids, it never stops.
We'll make it happen.
You'll make it happen.
We'll separate the men from the boys.
I hear you. Just one more time. And stick around. We'll be right back.
The KSM Show.